Hello! For my Google Earth project, I decided to do a road trip that my boyfriend and I took in May 2017. Our road trip started where we both currently live, which is in Santa Clarita, California. We then went and drove to Indio, California to go to something called the Stagecoach Festival. This is the first stop on our vacation. This 3-day festival is located in Indio, California on a large area of land called the Empire Polo Club. This area of land is the same place that they host Coachella. So if you know something about Coachella, then it's hosted in the same location. Stagecoach has been ongoing since 2007 and hosts many country music artists. There are multiple stages for artists to play, food vendors, and activities for people to check out. And it's very fun if you like country music. The next place that we went is Vegas. So on the way, we stopped, and of course, I ran into this sign that if you are from Southern California going to Nevada, you often see this road sign. And I never really knew what it meant, but I did a little research, and I found out that it was once called Soda Springs, and then it was turned into the ZZYZX Mineral Springs and Health Resort. The idea behind this road was that it was going to be the last listing in the directories. It was a huge success, but the land was taken away from the owner because they realized that he had no real rights to the land. It is now a desert study center and is protected land. And for me, this sign will always be a landmark on my road trips to Vegas. So like I said, we went to Vegas next. And we spent 2 nights there. The first part of our trip we spent at Excalibur. And Excalibur, if you recognize it, it is the castle-looking hotel on the Strip. And it's great for both adults and children. It has an arcade, multiple restaurants, a food court, casino games, and the Tournament of Kings show and dinner. We spent 2 days in Vegas going up and down the Strip, and we visited the Bellagio because I love to go see the different gardens that they have. Every couple months they change it to a different theme. And in May, the theme was the Japanese spring theme. And there was flowers and so many beautiful things to see. And these were a couple of my favorites that I took a picture of. Was a turtle, and the shell's made out of flowers, and this is a butterfly at the bottom that's made out of flowers as well, and it's always very fascinating to see. So after spending 2 days in Vegas, we left and we headed down to Zion National Park. And on the way there, we pulled over. It's on the Zion Park Scenic Byway, and we were able to have a little sightseeing. And I saw an ostrich, and there was an ostrich farm, and I thought it was just really interesting to be able to see all the different types of animals around. And then we finally made it up to the national park, and we went to the front of the park, and we got on this tram, and it took us to all the different trails. So they don't let you drive to each trail anymore. You have to park in a designated area. And then they have a tram that will take you to the beginning of each trail and pick you up at a later time. So it was very interesting that you got to learn about the place and see all the different people that are also going to go on a hike, or that just want to take the tram to learn a little bit more about it. And I snapped a couple photos on the tram on the way. So the first one was just some rocks, and then the second one was when we were on our hike, and the third one was also on our hike whenever we saw a deer. And she also had a mother at the time, but I didn't snap a photo of her. But the trail that we took was the narrowest trail, and that was at the end. But you need to be careful of flash flood warnings, so that was very interesting. And then we left there the same day. We did not stay the night there, and we made it to Cedar City, where my boyfriend's grandparents live. It's a very interesting little town, and we stayed the night with them. And they took us for breakfast the next morning, so we did not spend very long in Cedar City. It was a cute little town, and it was nice to hear about it from his grandparents. And it's actually in Iron Country, Utah, and the population is about 30,000 people. When we were there, the town did not seem very large, and everyone seemed to know everybody, but there's more people there than you would think. The next morning we left, and we headed down Highway 14, and it took us on this fun little adventure where we kept going higher and higher in elevation, and we eventually passed Navajo Lake, and we found snow, which was very nice to find in May, because I'm from Southern California, and you're not going to see a lot of snow in May. And so when we got to the top, we saw snow, we pulled over, and then we kept going. We found Navajo Lake, where on the right side you'll see that half of it was still frozen over, and it was just very interesting to see all the different types of weather conditions along our road trip. So we made it back in a day to Mesa, Arizona, where my grandmother is staying with my aunt, and we got to visit with her for the evening and stayed the night there and got to relax and recuperate from our long drive. And just a little information about Arizona is that Mesa is the third largest city in Arizona. It is a suburb with museums, an art center, and water park attractions. There are also places to see, such as the Mesa Grand Ruins. I have not visited most of these places. I've been to their science center, which is very fun, with my little cousin, but next time I go, I plan to try and see some of these interesting little sightseeing areas. And the next day we woke up and we went to Prescott, Arizona, where my cousin was getting married, and Prescott's a few hours away from Mesa, Arizona, and this was at the wedding of my aunt and my cousin and I, and we stayed at the Prescott Resort and Conference Center for the night, and my cousin got married at a local church around the area. In the evening, the town is known for having a place called Whiskey Row with bars and live music. So that was one of the large attractions of that town, and it was a very cute little town. Then, after a very long vacation, we headed home. And one day we came back home to Santa Clarita, and it was very nice to be able to just relax and be home, even though it was a great adventure. And in just a little over a week, we traveled over 1,500 miles. And so this was just a little photo that I took on the way home of the sunset, because we didn't get home for a while. And it was a great adventure, and I recommend it to many other people, just going out and exploring different states. And in this vacation, we went to 4 different states. It would have been nice if we could spend a little longer in each, but if you plan out your vacation, you can see a lot of different things and a lot of different people that you really want to see. So go ahead, make an adventure, go on Google Earth, make a map, and go.